Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 89 of the Michael Pena Senior Show here, October 29th, 2018. We celebrate another Red Sox championship, and Tom B., we thank you for everything that you send out to me. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that's been reaching out to me and talking to me. But today, I've got to just talk about one thing, and it's got to be the passing of my high school football coach, Armond Colombo. He meant a lot to me and a lot to many, many, many people. So I'm going to start off today with a quote and something from a yearbook from an ex-teammate of mine, Don Ritucci, who was working on the yearbook committee my senior year. This is from Don Ritucci. Led by co-captains Brian Houston and consensus All-American Greg McMurtry, the Brockton High School football team compiled an 11-0 record as it went on to clinch its second straight Division I Super Bowl championship. Faced with the difficult task of filling the enormous shoes left behind by the class of '85, the Boxers kept the tradition alive with the work and determination, and again was feared football powerhouse. This well-disciplined team refused to let anyone stand in the way of its preseason goal, another Super Bowl championship. This team drew national recognition as it was rated 8th in the nation at the end of the season. Despite the contributions of many talented individuals, the team owes much of its accomplishments to Coach Colombo and the rest of the coaching staff. We are truly honored to have the opportunity of carrying on such a beautiful football tradition and will cherish it forever. We now hand the ball to next year's team with the pride and confidence in their ability to succeed. And for a lot of you out there that don't know, I'm from Brockton, Massachusetts. We were a football powerhouse in the mid-'80s into the 90s and part of the 2000s. And that's what was instilled into me. That's what I try to reach out to you. And what Coach Colombo did for me was created a passion of wanting to help people to become successful. To me, the definition of a great coach is one who could take ordinary men and make them great. Bring out the extraordinary in the ordinary. And that's what Coach Colombo did. And somewhere along the line, sometimes, I forgot about a lot of the things that I was taught, but I was brought back full circle. And that's what I try to teach to you. And I try to bring out into you, into the people that follow me, is the extraordinary. I didn't get into coaching at a young enough age where I could climb the ladder and become the type of coach that I wanted to be. But I did find a success in the financial industry, but learned that I didn't want to be around those types of people. But I still wanted to be able to help people the way it was taught to me, and to coach you the way it was taught to me and instilled to me. With second place, wasn't acceptable when I was growing up. It definitely wasn't something that we accepted. My sophomore year, we were 8-2, and it was the absolute worst thing that could have happened to us because we were second best. Becoming a Super Bowl champion and learning to what it takes to win is what was taught by this great man, Armond Colombo. Not just to me, obviously. He started coaching in Brockton in 1969. He won his first Super Bowl championship in 1971. I was part of a Super Bowl championship team in 1984 and 1985. And he continued that winning tradition, continued teaching all of us, everybody that was touched by him, everybody that he reached out to, what it meant to be a winner. And we brought that through life. I never had an opportunity to officiate. I'm a sports official now. I never had the opportunity to officiate one of his games until 1999. I actually got a game in Barnstable where it was a big game. Barnstable was really good and Brockton needed to beat them. And he didn't say nothing to me. I didn't say nothing to him. You know, it's almost like we wanted to keep it quiet that I was from Brockton doing a Barnstable game, doing a Brockton game in Barnstable. But my assigner at the time knew how important it was to me to actually have a chance to be on the same field as my mentor. And then the next year, I actually got a scrimmage of Brockton's at Brockton High School, which I found very special to do. And I walked up to him and I thanked him for everything that he was able to help me with. And he asked me about what I was doing. He asked me about my family. And he said I did good. And it meant the world to me. It was important to him to see that I was having success in life. It's important to him to see that all of his players are having success in life. Not necessarily the guy that went to the NFL, because there was only a few of us. A fraction of the amount of guys that he coached went on to the NFL. A fraction. But a ton of us went on to have success with our families, with our personal life, with our businesses, with those successes. And that's what was important to him, because that's what he wanted to teach us, was on how to be a winner. And now, with his passing, it hit me in a different way that I didn't know how it would hit me. But we were able to, I want to bring up in 2010, we actually had what we called a Night of Champions. It was a reunion of the 84-85 championship football teams. And I was able to tell him, which meant a lot to me, that his voice resonates through mine to my players. And he just smiled and thanked me. And that again meant the world to me, that he was thanking me, but I was carrying on his legacy. And there's many of us that carry on his legacy. And that's part of what I try to teach and coach to you financially, is to be a winner. There is no room for second place. There's only room for winners. And a lot of you are looking for answers right now. I had to veer off of what, the subject matter was today, because this is what's happening in my life, and I'm able to record what's happening in my life. And now I've got an incredible opportunity that's going to be incredibly special to me as my new assigner, Mr. Cacciatore. I thank you. I don't know if you'll be listening to this, but it's going to be an incredibly emotional night, Friday night, as Brockton High School takes on Taunton at Marciano Stadium. And for the first time ever in my career, I'm going to be doing a Brockton High School football game as a football official. He's assigned me to that game, and it's going to be incredibly special and important to me, not only obviously to me, but to the city of Brockton. And in my own small, special way, I'm going to be there on the football field where I was able to play and be coached by the greatest coach in Massachusetts history on this Friday night, November 2nd. So a lot of you, I don't know what they got planned for this Friday night, but a lot of you, if you're not doing anything, go to Brockton High School, Marciano Stadium, November 2nd at 7 p.m. to honor the greatest coach in Massachusetts history, where second place wasn't acceptable. Being a winner always is. So, I don't know what else to say, but I hope that, I know that a lot of you got questions. Jay Nuts, if you're listening to this, go to podbean.com and check out the Michael Pina Senior Show there. I'm going to go further into your question. The short answer is yes, I do believe that, he asked about stacking up on silver. Yes, stack up, but make sure you know what you're doing. Get educated. And I'm going to go into an analysis on podbean.com tomorrow night. please, again, I apologize to kind of go off a little bit, but it goes to do with what I do. And it goes to do what I'm doing for you. My voice comes through, I'm part of Coach Colombo's. And I'm just going to end it with a quote from my good friend Peter Marciano, who I was able to umpire, probably about 30 games a year with up until his passing. And he said to me, Peen, he'd always call me Peen, of all the games that I played in all the coaches that I've played for, there was nothing more special to me than winning the Super Bowl for my Uncle Arm and for the city of Brockton. It was by far the most special game that I ever played in my entire life. And that's from Peter Marciano. And we played for the entire city and for Armond Colombo. Thank you, everybody. And catch me next time on the Michael Penasina Show. Because like I always say, I want to win. I want to help you win. We're always going to win together.